Alright guys, we've arrived at the port. We're just waiting for our turn to go in. Ferry's not open yet. We were a couple of hours early. We're just hanging fire here and chillaxing, charging up some batteries. We got Groundtrekker Steve and me, Overlanding Wolf, on the end. So this is the start of our Spanish expedition. We're just going to go and do a clockwise loop of the Iberian Peninsula. So Groundtrekker Steve in his 110, and then you got me in my 90 Wolf. It's 200 TDI, 300 TDI. So yeah, should be a good trip. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, it's supposed to be sunny. I don't know if you can hear me. It's a little bit windy up on deck. But yeah. There's France. Yeah, I'm going downstairs. Right guys, we're in Spain. We took a couple of hours off the ferry. We went north to see where Game of Thrones was filmed for that Dragonstone. There'll be some photos put in there. It was raining, so it was a bit harder to kind of, do anything with the rain. So yeah, so a couple of hours down south, heading sort of southeast. We've got a camp spot picked out just outside of a little deserty type region so that we can go on to an off-road track tomorrow. So we've got my Wolf here, absolutely fine. Going up through the hills, going over the mountains and stuff. She was getting a little bit warm, but that's a 300 TDI for you. Steve, Groundtrekker, he has got a 200 TDI. His was doing about the same, although we have had a first actual casualty. We had to stop about an hour after driving. Steve managed to, his windscreen wiper in the rain, that one there, passenger windscreen wiper, decided to come off, so he's bodged it, zip tied it on. Right now I have got ham and cheese with mayonnaise sandwiches, and it looks like Steve and Mrs. Steve have a very similar breakfast or dinner as well. So yeah,
absolutely.
Right. Yeah, cheers everyone. Right, that's it guys, that's camp night 1 done. Vehicles are just ticking over. We've just checked them over, made sure everything's okay. This absolutely glorious spot. I thought first night this was just going to be a general, you know, just get us in, get us done spot. No, it turns out that it was, you know, absolutely epic. We've had some vultures, 7 vultures flew over us. Now, it sounds horrible. They are massive birds. They are gorgeous. 2-meter wingspan easily, just flying over and taking a look, using the ledge that we're on here as a, you know, as an updraft, so they can gain some height and altitude and fly around. So yeah, absolutely glorious spot, absolutely glorious day. Look at the weather. Day 2, Spain. Don't think you can get any better than that. Steve's truck, went over it. He's got a little bit of a wobble on it and one of his bolts on his prop shaft, so needed to replace that this morning. Wolf doing absolutely fine, water's fine, oil's fine. So yeah, just where we're off to now. So over there is a 4x4 track and I want to call it a big stalactite out of the ground, poking out of the ground, stalactite, whichever one the one it pokes up. But it's like the size of, like, see that rock there? It's like the size of that thing there, so it's huge. But there's a big 4x4 track that goes around the outside of a military base, so no drones. But obviously once you get to the rock, you're allowed to fly your drone around the rock. So yeah, we'll go and do the 4x4 track. It's about 40 kilometers off-road. It's 30 kilometers to get there off-road, and then it's 40 kilometers off-road around it. So we're going to do like 70 kilometers of off-roading today, and then once we've done that, we'll shoot off north up towards the Pyrenees and get into our first Castle and Pyrenees camp. That's where we're going next. Right, this is Castle Luair. It is up on top of on a mountain, obviously, and views for days all the way down. Just gonna go in. We're gonna have a wander around. Camp is just down at the halfway up the mountain, so we've come all the way to the top so we can have a look around, and then we will see where that takes us. This is the entrance. These are the views. Wow, absolutely gorgeous. Oh, you gotta see that. Look at that. Right, I'll have a look round. I will take some video and some pictures, and I will slot them in here for you. Right, one thing I will tell you about this castle is there's a lot of steps, but it's well maintained, it's well kept. It looks actually quite cool. There's an audio book that comes with it. So when you pay for your ticket, you get an audio book. You can listen to someone tell you about how this castle was built. But if you're like me, you'll be more interested in an ambulance. But it's good. Ambulance or no ambulance, you'll enjoy it. And it's cheap. It's only, what, €7 each? Dead easy. Right, guys, we made it to the top of the castle. I'm half dead. Steve's going to carry me down. Chloe's going to laugh. And yeah, we're going to have some fun. You can just see there's the trucks in the background. Steve's one stands out like a tit on a man, and my one hides in the bushes like the Marines should. So yeah, this is the castle, Castle Luair. I don't know if I'm saying it right. It's saying it how it's spelled. But yeah, looks good. Steve's looking at the planes in the sky, looking like they're about to collide. And you just got a good shot of my forehead. So everyone's winning today. Right, guys, we found the cathedral part. No idea what it is. It's just got an altar and stuff like that. It is echoey in here. When I walked in, there was a couple, and they were taking a look out the old balcony there. And I came in and went, echo! So yeah, the inner child came straight out, and they were, oh, so standard. But yeah, massive room. Good place. As you can tell from the beads of sweat on my forehead, many stairs. Cheers, everyone. Right, so that was Castle Luair. You can see it in the background. It is a hot one today. We are just walking back through the woods to the trucks, which hopefully are in front of us. We don't know, we're just heading that way. So, cool. Alright, morning all. Wolf's all buttoned up nicely. She's lovely and warm. She's just ticking over now, charging up. I got my washing on the bonnet so that when we leave the campsite, I can stick some water in the washing. We can get that agitating while we're driving. Steve's Landy's up and running. So last night we figured out he had a loose kind of bad contact on his earth, on his chassis, and we also found out that his alternator belt wasn't tensioned, so he hadn't been charging all day. So the two compounding issues meant that his starter motor just wasn't going to make the effort to start his truck. We actually started his truck last night with a tow rope wrapped around the tyre just to make sure everything worked. Everything worked wonderfully, so it's just a case of fix the tensioner, get the engine running, get it charging, get the batteries up, and then we could make a move. So today's plan, we are travelling just up the hill from where we were. There is a off-road 4x4 track that goes through some woods that follows a shelf road around the side of a mountain. So hopefully we will see what that looks like. Hopefully we'll get some good views, some good content, maybe get the drone up, I don't know. So Steve's truck's up and running, everything's sweet as a nut. My truck is up and running, sweet as a nut. It's very muggy today, so it's quite warm. So we'll see how it goes. It's due to rain a little bit later, so we'll see what happens about that. And yeah, see you in a minute. So yeah, we spoke a bit too soon on the old Steve's truck fix. Turns out the alternator tensioner had gone. I think that had wiggled the wire and has broke the alternator to starter motor cable. So he's not charging. So we can get it started, we can run it. It's just not putting voltage back to his battery because there's a break in the cable somewhere, or it's disconnected somehow. So we've got some spare cable. We just need to wait for the engine to cool down now, because whilst we were trying to figure out what was going on, the engine obviously was running and it's not very far away from the exhaust. So just waiting for the engine to cool down, and then we'll hook on a new alternator to starter motor cable, see if that does the job. Oh, we are halfway up a mountain. So yeah. So Steve, who just stopped off to offer us help?
A Frenchman with a TD5.
And what did he do? What did he laugh at? When he turned his key, what happened?
It started. And then he said, bye-bye.
He was a nice bloke. He did stop and offer to help, but he realised what we were doing. We actually used ChatGPT to translate so that we could actually have a conversation, because he spoke no English, we spoke no French. But we managed to get through it, and we had a giggle together. And yeah, he decided he could see that we were pretty much done, as the cable's now in. So yeah, that was fun. Nice bloke. Stickers were swapped, exchanged. Hopefully he'll speak to Steve on the old YouTubes. All right, moment of truth. We're going to reconnect the battery now and see that everything is reconnected without catching fire. Yep. And then we'll go from there. Morning, it's Friday. Yesterday was a bit of a day. We had loads of issues with Steve's truck, which we had to go through. One issue followed another issue, followed another issue. All starter motor, alternator connected. You'll probably have seen those clips earlier. So we came back to the campsite that we were at originally and decided just to chill out, have an evening here, catch up, rest, because it was a long day, 6 hours in the sun and crawling under the truck. I had a pizza last night. We got pizza in the restaurant here, and that did not sit well with me overnight. It tasted all right, but I had indigestion all night, and it just gave me a bit of a rough night. That, and last night was proper windy. So no warnings out. You can see, no warnings out, just the rooftop tent. She did fine. Roof tent did absolutely lovely. I actually had to peg down the ladder because the wind was lifting the tent whilst I was sleeping in it. But I sleep with my head at the back, so the ladder end is where my feet go. So it was just basically just bouncing my legs in the wind, which is weird sensation whilst you're sleeping. But yeah, no, last night we were in bed like dead early, and yeah, I snored my head off. I am sorry for everyone around me. I absolutely snored my head off. But we got spots like this. Look, there's a lake. There's the church down there, and then there's the view over the plains of Spain. Right, so we're 5 minutes into our off-road track. We've come across a lookout. This is where it basically starts becoming off-road. But that is the view here. The trucks are up behind the buildings. They're up over there at the back on the off-road trail. But that is an amazing view. Look at that. So just pushing into the mountains now, and we'll see how this goes. Planning on getting the drone up, so you should see some drone shots shortly. And yeah, it's very much of a talking video, this one. I don't know, I'll see if I can edit my mouth out and just get you some views. Right guys, the views in Spain are just absolutely epic. Those in the background, that's the Pyrenees. We're heading to those next. And snow-covered mountains and cloud inversions it looks like. And the weather is absolutely glorious. Wolf is just chilling on the track while we get some photos and some good shots of the day. But yeah, this trip is turning out somewhat special. So yeah, if anyone wants to come to Spain, I can't recommend it enough.